Hey friends, this is Derrick Broze of the Conscious Resistance Network, and today we're going to talk about Ross Ulbricht and the Silk Road case and how important it is, and some updates that I hope you guys will dive into, especially if you're unfamiliar with this case. If you've never looked into my past work on this, I really do hope that you'll check that out. Before we get into that, though, I want to remind you guys, as always, to bookmark theconsciousresistance.com so you can get all of our latest content. Make sure that you can follow us on Minds, Steemit, Discord. Sign up for our text list. You can also follow on BitChute. For those who are looking for alternative platforms and don't want to watch on YouTube, I'm uploading the videos directly to Minds. I'm uploading videos to BitChute, and I also upload them to DTube. It's a little bit behind on DTube and Minds at the moment, but I'm getting it caught up. And so check out the alternatives. Of course, sign up for our email newsletter, and just continue supporting wherever and however you can, guys. Because without your support, I wouldn't be able to continue doing this. So just the other day, it was posted on activistpost.com. Ross Ulbricht clemency petition gathers 250,000 signatures. So I guess before I get into this whole situation, I should give you a little bit of background for those who are totally in the dark about this. But Ross Ulbricht is a 35-year-old man who, in 2015, was convicted of several charges and sentenced to 2 life sentences plus 40 years in prison, and basically made to be a kingpin, some sort of hacker type drug lord. This is what the powers that wish they were made Ross out to be. But at the end of the day, what it comes down to is that Ross helped build the Silk Road website, which was an online marketplace that operated very similar to Amazon, eBay, etc. However, on this marketplace, one could find all kinds of things, including things that were considered illegal by the state. So you could find drugs, you could find passports, you could find all kinds of things. But they didn't allow violent activity. They didn't allow child pornography or anything like that. So there was it was towards basically economic freedom, moving the state out of the relationship, but not about promoting violence or things of that sort. And Ross was railroaded. I mean, there's just no way around it. Ross was railroaded. Again, if you're totally new to this, I will put some of the links to my work, including, I think this is probably one of the most valuable articles to read that I put together based on my time at the Silk Road trial. This covers the entire story. It includes an interview I did with Abby Martin that you can see right here when I had a mohawk. Actually, it was a dreadhawk. Back in February 2015, how the Silk Road trial could chill the internet. I recommend reading this article from Mint Press News, Why Ross Ulbricht is a Political Prisoner, an interview with his mother. There's also some interviews on this channel with Ross's mom, Lynn Ulbricht, at least 2, maybe 3 interviews over the years, and I try to work with and support Lynn and her efforts to free her son as much as possible. Also, when I was writing for Ben Swan's website, Truth in Media, I wrote this one. Let's start here. I wrote this one when the trial began. Trial begins January 13, 2015 in New York City when it was cold as hell, and we were up there I was out there daily, just putting out videos, writing articles, reporting on what was taking place. And this is why I tell you guys that I have experience covering trials, and when it comes down to it, if you only rely on the mainstream, the dead stream, whatever, to get your news, you guys know this, but especially when it comes to a trial, you're going to get a small little couple of paragraphs every day, but there's so much information that's taking place on a daily basis, and I tried to take daily notes and keep up with this. We were keeping blogs going on another website. I was also tweeting out updates at the time, and and I was there till the end, where Ross was found guilty on the final day, and watched his family cry, and just I really do recommend getting into these longer articles I wrote, maybe listening to this interview here with Abby Martin. Even Newsweek talked about it, the rise and fall of Silk Road, the dark web's Amazon. Of course, they do a not great job of covering it. They did point me out at one point, said a federal marshal marched Ulbricht outside a side door, and this is after they found him guilty, when a young man in black dreadlocks shouted, "Ross is a hero." Derrick Broze, a member of the Houston Freethinkers, came to the New York for this trial as part of a group of self-styled anarcho-libertarians who squeezed into the courtroom every day. In the brush-cut precincts of the southern districts of Manhattan, they stood out with their dreads, vintage threads, tattoos, piercings, and smoky odor, and they provoked the judge's ire when they distributed pamphlets to potential jurors, urging them to declare Ulbricht innocent no matter what the evidence said. They believe the government's prosecution of him is about something much bigger and more menacing than simply a simple drug trafficking case. They say it is an ominous triumph for the agencies that are spying on all of us all of the time. And that is absolutely true. Newsweek at least got that part right. So Ross was screwed over, and that was 2015 when he was finally sentenced. He was arrested in 2013. And what I will say is every day while I was at the trial, the defense team tried to bring evidence forward to show Ross's innocence and to show all the shady crap that the government was up to. And the judge kept throwing things out, no, we're not allowing that. No, we're not allowing that. And then she would allow certain things from the government, which were totally unfair. And in the end, the jurors, for one, couldn't really understand the technology, the Silk Road, involves the deep web, the dark web, using Tor, using Bitcoin, all these things, especially in 2015, were very foreign to many people. And the jurors had no idea what the hell they were talking about. So they really couldn't understand the complexities and how the government could forge digital, quote unquote proofs and really frame Ross. And so it was a farce. It was a completely bullshit trial. And his mom and family's been fighting since then. They've been gathering petition signatures, and they've passed 250,000 signatures now. I would ask anybody who cares about this case to go sign this petition, because the only hope that Ross has is for a presidential pardon. And so, look, if Donald Trump did one good thing, I know you guys are going to say he's done lots of good things. Some of y'all will. But if he could do one good thing, it would be pardoning Ross Ulbricht. I would give him a little hand clap for that. And that's what Lynn, his mom, is fighting for at the moment, because Trump is obviously the current president. So they've already fought the case as far as they can. The Supreme Court denied taking it up, or I think earlier this year or last year. And so we're at the point now where, as Ross tweeted just on December 6, 2019, he doesn't have access to the internet, but he does send out messages or phone calls to people so they can keep a Twitter account running for him, and he tries to keep in touch with people. Ross is a brilliant guy. He could be doing so much good out here in the world, and by all accounts from his mom and the other prisoners, he's in there helping people, teaching people, educating them, because he's a very brilliant guy, teaching people who don't have access to an education and just helping them fight their cases and doing so much good for other people still, even while behind bars. So the petition did reach 250,000 signatures, and basically people are hoping that at some point somebody will respond. I also saw that they're organizing rallies everywhere Trump's going to speak, Free Ross supporters, and trying to just get his attention and see if he might actually pardon Ross before he leaves office, whenever that may be. So that's an update. And I also want to say this just came out, Silk Road Case, The Real Untold Story, which is on the Free Ross YouTube channel. I recommend to go subscribing there and also visiting freeross.org. This is a brand new documentary, and it's an interesting documentary because it's not like overly produced. In fact, it might be a little underproduced, but because all you get is text and images on the screen, but it's important, I think, that it's plain in this way. For one, it's 2 hours and 15 minutes long, so it's quite a bit of information, but that's what you need to really kind of suck in and digest to understand this case. There's so many different complexities to this case. There's different layers, and that's what I'm saying, that in order for the people to really understand it, there was no way for them to truly understand it. And the fact also remains that at the time, they didn't have they being Ross's family and the defense didn't have all the information that's available now to them. So now here we are 5 years after Ross being sentenced, 6 years since he's been arrested, 6 years. And this is the most comprehensive, researched, behind-the-scene narrative about Silk Road and Ross Ulbricht's case, never-before-seen information, over 400 references to direct evidence and source material. And that's what's awesome, is you go here to the Free Ross website, The Real Untold Story, and everything in this is, for one, they have timestamps for each of the different chapters. You can come here and visit their website. And I mean, it is footnotes and annotated with the specific documents of everything that they're referring to. So you can come here and see, and then it'll go down and tell you that took place on this page, this page 5 of Trial Exhibit 120. I mean, so all this is, and it's super detailed, right? So I recommend visiting freeross.org. I recommend checking out this new documentary if you don't know anything about Ross's case, even if you do, because like I said, I'm only about an hour into this, and it's just so disturbing. I thought I knew a lot about this case from being involved and knowing the family, but I even learned some things, and it's just, it really truly is disturbing how Ross is getting fucked over. And I, care for and love and appreciate his mom, because she's out there going to anarchist events, going to wherever she can, crypto events. This is not what she wants to be doing with her time. This is an older woman who probably would like to be spending time with her family, going on vacation or spending time with her son. Probably, I would bet. And instead she's having to go out and travel the world and give speeches and talks, trying to get people to realize that her son's being screwed over. And she has gotten lots of support. The team has gotten lots of support, both monetarily as well as different people stepping up and saying, just different organizations and individuals stepping up and vouching for Ross and saying that he's getting screwed over. So hopefully we can reach some kind of tipping point where these petition signatures and these documentaries and the articles and interviews and all the hard work of the family and of Lynn and everybody out there can lead to the one thing we want, and that is for Ross Ulbricht to be free, to get out from prison, because this case is just another example of the intelligence agencies, the DHS, the NSA is involved, there's a few others I can't remember off the top of my head that are all involved in so many different government agencies that were all running games. You have undercover agents stealing bitcoins. You have people lying, falsifying documents, and Ross was basically used as a fall guy in order to help other people get away who are willing to make deals with the government. And that's what it comes down to, guys. That's the truth of the matter. So please, if you don't know anything about this case, again, read my articles. Go back, read the articles that I'll link below. Check out this interview with Abby. Watch the documentary. Read up at freeross.org. And just, if you can donate to them, please do. And yeah, we're going to leave it there. Free Ross. And until next time, remember, you are powerful, you are beautiful, and you are free. Peace.